That means every believer ought to be on the field. In fact, when I was preparing this afternoon, I had this understanding or this witnessing in my spirit man that I have fed you enough. It's time for you to start reaching out to others. As you live here now, get somebody. Share with the person me. And I say it, the preaching of the gospel, which every believer has received as a mandate from God, is the fulfillment of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 and 27 and 28. The preaching of the gospel, which we have received as new creatures, is the fulfillment of Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, 27 and 28. Give me Genesis chapter 1, 26, 27, 28. He said, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. The next verse. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. He's talking about the man and woman in Christ. Because in Christ there is no male, there is no female. So now he's talking about the new birth. Just like what 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17 said. If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Now look at verse 28. Verse 20. God blessed them, and God said unto them, what? Be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So, how God wants us to replenish the earth, to be fruitful and multiply, is via the gospel. So, how does God, or how do God want us to multiply and subdue and replenish the earth? Via the gospel. I reminded you yesterday what Jesus said in Matthew chapter 28 from verse 18. He said, all power in heaven on earth has been given unto me. Go and make men. The fruitfulness there is with the gospel. Is with the gospel. How can we get it done? Via the gospel. The gospel has been handed over to us. So we preach the gospel as an announcement. We preach the gospel as an announcement. Remember, we say the preaching of the gospel is in Greek is what we announce. We don't innovate. The gospel has been presented. The fact of the gospel has been presented. Once we announce it, somebody hears it and believes, that person is saved. So, we have been delivered from the kingdom of darkness into God. We have been delivered into God's kingdom. And when God assigned him to go and approach Pharaoh, he said, let my people go, that they may what? Serve me. In the same way, we have been delivered from the darkness. Colossians chapter 1 verse 12. Colossians 1, us meet. I say the word meet there is the word qualified. Qualified. Which had made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints. Where? In the light. Look at verse 13. Who hath delivered us from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. In this kingdom, we are saved to serve. In this kingdom, we are saved to serve. Can we say that in this kingdom, we are saved to preach the gospel? Yes. We are saved to preach the gospel. We are saved to sponsor the gospel. We are saved to involve in the preaching of the gospel. And how do we do that? We involve in the preaching of the gospel by prayer and going out for evangelism. We involve in the preaching of the gospel by prayer. Our money is involved. Our time is involved. Everything that, because that is the one of the reasons. Or he said, let your light so shine that the world will see it and glorify your Father which is in heaven. This implies that the entry point into the ministry is salvation. The entry point into the ministry is salvation. If you are not saved, you are not in ministry. Once you are saved, you are in ministry. From salvation,